Hey, welcome to Guitar Knobs, the guitars, gear, noise, and nonsense podcast, hosted today by these knobs.
Tony Dudzik, Picardian.
William Wayne Whitmire.
That's nobody.
Billy Spitfire Unlimited.
Thank you. There you go.
Oh, that's who we knew
Billy.
and love.
Billy's here. What a joy Billy is.
Welcome back, Billy.
We love him.
Thank you.
Hey, everybody, it's me, Todd Novak. Welcome to the Guitar Knobs podcast. We are thrilled to death that you are listening to our show, especially today, Day of Days.
A day that will live in infamy.
Well, at least for today.
At least today.
This is officially our 10th anniversary. And we've been kind of talking about it a while just because we're excited about it. And if you've gotten to this point and you're like, I swear if these yo-yos mention this one more time, please, this is the one more time. So thank you for bearing with us. We're just really excited about it. It's
a big deal.
We never imagined that this would,
It's
go this long.
Yes, it is. And, when you look at the history of podcasts in general, very few podcasts have lasted this long.
Yeah.
And just so you know, Todd has the look of glee, like a 10-year-old.
Anyways, we have a fantastic guest. We're very excited. This is a dear old friend of ours who's been with us almost the entire way.
Yeah.
Guest, who are you?
I'm Dr. No, and I'm so excited to be on your 10th anniversary edition. So proud of you guys.
Thank you. Thank you. So we've got the wonderful Dr. No, creator of so many incredible pieces of gear that we all covet. And we're going to catch up. He's been very, very busy, and it's going to be a great time. This is his third go at the thing.
Third, yeah.
That's right. So, according to my my diligent research, Dr. No first joined us on episode number 98.
Yep.
Way back when. That was, when was that? 98? That would have been 2018?
I think 2018, right?
Yeah, 2018. That sounds about right. And then there was a long absence, but he came back on episode number 315.
Yeah.
And now, as we approach our 500th episode, we have him on for the third time.
Yeah.
That's great.
Wow. It's an interesting thing because, especially early on, I was very hesitant to even bother to ask certain people because I just didn't want to get shot down. And I was like, they're not going to care about this. They're not going to pay it. Why would they wait? They're not going to want to waste their time. And
totally the opposite.
I was just absolutely bananas thrilled when we got him on the first time and the second, and that the fact that in between time, see, what you all don't know is he's only been on here 3 times, but we've corresponded for years now, and it's a treat to get a note from you in the email and just have chats. I value our connections that we have with the friends that we've made so much.
Yeah, me too. Right back at you. And to be honest, I am a little hesitant to do interviews because it's not really in depth conversations. And what I really like is what you are doing is like have a long conversation to talk about things in depth, to explain things better. Because as you know, my story isn't really about making products, but it's more about storytelling. And it's really difficult to be interviewed or ask for a podcast if it's just about products and gear and the surface level short conversations. That's not really my thing. And that's also the thing that I don't consume. So I'm really excited to be here on this for the third time again on your podcast. So thank you. Yeah,
that's fantastic. You're about as close to performance art as you can get without performing.
It's weird because I kind of develop in this vacuum, right? So I don't know what I don't still know. I started in 2004, right? So it's it's a long time that I'm working on this.
Yeah.
What I do, and over time, I just was curious about the perception. What's the actual perception that people have of my work, and people find it convenient to put things in boxes, like this is part of a musical instrument, and specifically a guitar effect, so you have to be there and you're involved with this and you're that, so specify what you are doing. And that wasn't really my thing over time. Basically what I started to do is I wanted to make art. And over the time, I just found my canvas, which is the guitar pedal.
Yeah.
And that evolved into what I'm doing now, which still isn't the overall perception of what I do, but I can explain it too. I can explain it because it's people generate their own perception about other people, what they're doing. But for most people, it's safe to put things in boxes, and I don't really want to be part of anything just myself, because it's more convenient for me to be in a creative room to create. So
yes.
I approach it as making little art pieces, and especially create sentiments to build a story. And the story translates into a physical device that you can use to create yourself. So I try to generate some sort of atmosphere and some feeling within what I make, together with that you can use it to create. So that's for me, I think, a totally different approach than most of the products that are made. I don't perceive my builds as products. I perceive them more like beings. They are more like they have this charge. Every time that I have to send one, when somebody buys one, it feels like giving away a piece of how do you say, myself, or it's sometimes really hard, because it's this emotional thing that I put into these beings, and that's weird, because people still think or wanted to be in a box because of their convenience of generating a perception of things, right? Mm-hmm. If that makes any sense.
No, it does. I think a lot of artists actually kind of struggle with that. Billy is actually a figure painter. And
yeah.
Billy, do you have when?
Yeah, you're talking my language. I mean, and some of the things you said about people's perception. I mean, that's, once you create it, then it's theirs to make whatever they want out of it, or have their own dialogue with that thing.
Exactly. And that's
and then it grows from there. Grows into their experience.
Exactly. It's exactly what I'm trying to do. And also, you are a painter, right?
Yes.
So people can enjoy your piece on a wall. And that's for them, it's valuable forever, for whatever reason, right? They connect with that thing that you created because of a very, probably energy-wise, right? Mm-hmm. And what I wanted to do is to actually use that painting so it can influence your creation process, specifically in music, because for me, music is the most, how do you say, spiritual thing to create, because it's more dimensional than just not to be playing down on paintings or whatever. But this is a way to take a piece of art, integrate your perception on it, and then create music, because inspiration comes from somewhere. And I think when you take a little bit more effort in bringing a story or even a more abstract, even a soul into a thing that generates, that participates in inspiration, in creating inspiration to create, right? So that's how I approach things. I prefer to consume or buy pieces of musical instruments that are made by people who are really into putting their effort and their soul and everything into that. So that generates a certain vibe and feeling that helps me to create more easily.
And that is literally
Well, that
The
was
whole-
the podcast.
Well, that's
perfect,
is,
though.
but you're right. It is the podcast. That what you just said is the entire reason that we started this. Is that to there are people who are making things, and we want to connect them with them. We want to give them the opportunity to discuss how they arrived at these creative decisions, and that it is art is one of those things. Forget about whatever box or label the art that you may be thinking of comes in. Okay, when you're like, say if you're at a gallery or something and you turn a corner and then you just get stopped dead in your tracks, and you're moved by something you don't often know why, or you see something in a shop, in an old, in an antique shop or a vintage shop, and you're just like, I have to have this because it's you instantly form a connection, or I think you don't, and you can appreciate and enjoy something that you may not have an instant connection with completely. Yeah. But when you do find that thing, it's electric. It's just fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I saw you post things about certain guitars that attract you. And it's the funny and the cool thing about most products are approached to sell numbers, right, and create revenue. But for me, it's like, no, I just want to touch somebody, like not the masses, but some people understand this kind of connection, right?
Yes.
And it's not a majority. It's not an unfortunate or fortunate thing, but it's not a majority. So I always knew that this was going to happen. I'm not a mass builder. I create single pieces every day, but not in mass. So it's not my goal to have a big audience. I want to have an audience that understands this kind of connection.
Yeah. Well said. Yeah. Well said. Hear, hear.
Yeah.
Bully.
Yes.
All right, we're going to get into so much more of this. He's got something recently that he introduced that is just it's beautiful. We're going to talk all about that and find out what else is going on with Dr. No. In the meantime, we have a few announcements, Tony.
I do, and I just wanted to extend our best wishes to our friend Curtis Novak, who just a few weeks after Woodwire and Volts slipped while hiking and broke his ankle.
Oh, my.
And it required surgery, so he's recovering nicely but slowly from surgery. So I chatted with him just yesterday, and he's doing fine, but he's just taking it slow. So everybody out there, send your best wishes to Curtis.
So probably no more figure skating.
Or downhill skiing.
Right. Okay.
So, yeah, those are both out.
Yeah,
and probably not hiking anymore,
which is terrible because those are his two greatest passions.
Yes.
Yeah. That is we thoroughly like the man Curtis Novak, and the stuff that he makes is really great too. Anyways, was that it?
That was all. I just wanted to announce that.
So we've
already. Todd, is that family Novak?
No, surprisingly, it's not.
Okay. Yeah.
It's kind of weird when you meet another person who has the exact same last name as you. If it's not a super common one,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Are you any relation to Kim Novak?
No, but I get asked that all my life constantly. Anyways, so obviously we've pulled the cover off of the car here. We are on our 10th year. This is the date, and we are now going to, not right this second, Tony and I are going to put out a second little thing that we're going to share all of the goodies that we're going to be doing.
Are we doing it topless?
You can not.
Damn.
Yeah.
I figured after 10 years.
Double up, why don't you?
Put the parka on.
So we'll have a little separate thing where we get into all the goodies that we've got planned because we've been working on this a while, and I'm very, very excited about some of these things.
Yes.
I did want to give a shout out to our friend Peter Hook. for being inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
For Joy Division and New Order, and Jack Bates being very proud of his dad, of course.
Now, let me ask you concerning that induction.
Yes.
What are your feelings on Joy Division and New Order being brought in under the same umbrella?
It's a unique thing, but I definitely understand it. There would be no New Order without Joy Division.
But wouldn't it? Here's my opinion.
And
since you're asking,
yes.
Well, it's not like Beatles and Wings.
Right. No.
Well, no. Okay.
Nothing like that.
Yeah. Okay. But I think Joy Division deserved to be in the Rock Hall. I think New Order deserves to be in the Rock Hall.
Yes.
Separately.
Yes, but I think that's the point, because the same people shared the band, except for like one person.
Ian, yeah.
Yeah. So I get it. I completely get it. And to pull those apart would be like a double entry thing that probably they wouldn't allow it. So I think that's the way that they got dealt that, since I'm an expert on the matter.
Okay.
Because then one would get left out.
Yeah. But
If any
anyways,
of them made it at all.
very excited about that, and really excited that Peter Hook and the Light are touring this summer, this spring and summer, and we're going to see them down here. I think we're going to go to Cincinnati, maybe do a double show there up in Cleveland. So we'll see. So we'll be hoping, I'm crossing my fingers for some good stuff for the show.
You could call yourself a hookhead. Like a deadhead, but you're a hookhead. You just travel around the country.
Keep working on that one.
Okay. It's hard to say. I agree.
Right.
Deadhead sounds better.
So, that all being said, we have a lot to talk about, Dr. No with, so let's just touch on what's going on in our music world this week.
Yes.
And then we can rock and roll into the interview, okay?
Sure.
All right. Tony's going to kick us off, then we're going to check in with Dr. No.
All right. Well, this week I had the pleasure, my buddy Pat from Coop Guitars came down, and he's working on a new project of a, I guess you would call it a unique body style, and he asked me to put some guards together for him. So he came down, he had some templates and things cut out, and we talked a little bit about and made a couple of minor changes. But this guitar, he's going to be billing it as a opportunity for you to custom order pickups, custom order the layout. It's not going to be, terribly expensive, especially when it comes to a boutique guitar. And the body style is basically, think of like a jazz bass, but reduced down to guitar size. Mm-hmm. And I think it's going to be really cool. He's going to, I think, introduce it at the Dallas Guitar Show when he's down there. And basically, people can order. He's going to have like a menu. You say, okay, this is the color I want. This is the neck I want. This is the pickups that I want. These are the controls that I want. Mm-hmm. And he's going to build them.
Nice.
So I'm real happy that I'm able to work with him on this, and I hope it's very successful for him.
Outstanding. Very cool. Dr. No, what is going on in your music world this week? Now, if we can make that outside of Building Pedals, any music stuff that you are being, consumed with?
Yeah, I just returned a week ago from Bern. And Bern is a place in Switzerland, and that's the hometown of some friends. And I was there with the Reverend Beatman, and he's a musician. And I was there witnessing his new recordings, which was really really cool. He's like this dinosaur in psychobilly kind of music. It's not really my kind of music, but he does it in a very different way, approaches it in a different way. He's a one-man band, so he does everything himself. He's touring now. And what was going on in my music? Yeah, I started writing music again, which was absent for almost 6 years now. So I didn't create music myself. So I'm starting to write new music myself.
Oh, great.
Playing more. To live in France in this new environment, it's really hard to find other people to write music with, because it's not a lot of musicians that can connect with me with the style that I like to play, which is more traditional, and it's not really my scene here. But
Unless you need
I'm
an accordion.
Yes, or a flute.
Or the accorda-flute.
Yes, the accordion flute. Yeah, but no, I'm trying to figure this out and maybe try to find friends to participate. I want to ask people that I know, are friends with, that I admire, even to be part of this collaboration in just pretentiousness. No, so it's just making music to do something else. So that's
cool.
happening in my music world recently. Yeah.
Awesome. We just pulled the Reverend Beat Man up on the internet here. Very interesting. We haven't heard it, but it looks like he's got quite a great sense of humor as well.
He's dark, but in a fun way.
Yeah.
Which what I like about musicians in general is that I like to be a little bit afraid when I look at an artist.
Yeah.
I want to be intimidated, not feeling convenient. And he's one of those masters who really masters it to create this kind of attention and environment.
Yeah. People said that about Dracula too. That didn't really work out so well. But this guy's got a great sense of humor. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, Billy Boy, what's up?
What's new in my music world? Heather and I bought a new house, and in that spirit, I'm trying to consolidate some of the guitar collection.
Oh, I've got room in my space.
Yeah.
And so what I did was, in the last 2 months, I've traded 28 guitars for 4.
Oh.
Wow.
So let me tell you, starting with the simplest one.
You're not going to go through all 28, are you?
No. Okay. I'm just the 4 new ones. Just the 4 new ones. Nothing special, although it's very special. It's a little Esquire. Pink.
That's what he got.
Pink with double bound.
That's what he got.
No,
Really?
mine's not pink double bound.
No, but you got Esquire.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Cool
mine's
stuff.
70s style.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, and then
You were playing that at the show.
no,
Nope.
that was a Fender Custom Shop, which is one of the 4.
Yeah.
Fender Custom Shop 63 reissue Telly.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pink.
Telly
and
or
it's
Telly
pink.
Custom?
It's like a
No binding.
No binding.
Okay,
No.
so Telly, yeah.
No. Straight up, just It's like a nude pink kind of color, and it's got a pearloid pick guard that's all faded. And,
Nice.
yeah. And a rosewood board. And anyway, and then the other one, the other 2 are a 1953 Gibson ES 125. The full body. Yeah, I got that at the guitar show.
Yeah.
Yep. Traded 3 guitars for that. And the biggest one was I traded 13 guitars for this one. It was a 1964 Epiphone Casino Royal Tan with 1 single P90
Wow.
In the middle.
in the middle.
Yeah.
Would that have been custom back then, or
No.
They're pretty rare though.
That
With
color-
that color with the one
With the color
with the
and
single
the single
pickup. Yeah.
middle
Yeah.
wild?
Yeah.
Yeah, because those had 3.
And it's
Yeah. No.
it just rings. Usually
What's
it
the
had
3?
2.
The,
The Beatles all had 2
They had
pickup.
Yeah, but there's a Riviera with the 3.
Well, this is a casino.
Sorry,
casino.
that's right. That's what I'm thinking of. The
Yeah,
Riviera.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Riviera only had.
So it's got double horns and it's got
They made a reissue with 3 pickups.
Okay, thank you. I just want a
Yeah.
verification that
Yeah,
exists.
It does exist.
Yeah. Right.
So now you
But it's super cool because it's got the thin, it's a hollow body. It's
Yeah.
full hollow body, but
Yeah.
it's not very deep.
yeah.
Yeah.
and it's just a rock and roll machine.
Yeah, that's cool. That
It's really
color
cool.
is really cool.
Yeah.
But you didn't get rid of the Vox 9 string, did you?
No,
Okay,
no, I
all
still
right.
have that.
That is
Most of the
you were
stuff-
to contact me before you sell that.
Most of the stuff I got rid of was all like replaceable stuff. Either,
Yeah.
Nice replaceable stuff.
Yeah.
That you could buy off the shelf now, or stuff that was just oddballs that
Okay.
they
Very
were
cool.
some great playing instruments, but
All right.
yeah,
You've been a busy boy,
So it
as
was
usual.
Fun, yeah.
Todd?
Yes.
What about you?
Well, my week started off kind of with going to see Billy Boy play at one of our local haunts with a whole bunch of other friends that were playing. There's a scene here, and it's great when we get to see the bands that we actually like, who we also play with.
Yeah.
So that was
good
a
to
treat
see the old gang
Billy.
there. Yeah,
everybody
right
was
on.
there.
Yeah.
And
A regular hootenanny.
It was. So thoroughly enjoyed that, and our friends the Howling Commandos crushed it.
Oh, yeah.
Billy's band, the Mathematics, did a fantastic job, and one of the bands that came in that were they were a traveling band
From Detroit.
Yeah,
the Lowcocks.
The Lowcocks. They the bass player is from Thunderbolt Guitars, who tried to get on a long time ago, and it was great because I was way in the back, and he's like, "Hey!" And so we had a great chat, and hopefully we'll get him on because
nice.
he makes aluminum neck basses.
Or in the UK,
Aluminum.
Aluminium.
Well, some of them say it wrong, but anyways.
I'll let you.
Yeah, but one
say
of the
that
other
word.
great people that we got to hang out with is a very well-known local DJ named Tom Butler, who has probably done more for local indie music in Columbus, if not Ohio, than just about anybody.
Yeah.
And we had a great conversation. I said, man, I'd love to have you on the show because he's also a player and he loves gear.
Oh, yeah, perfect.
But he will have a very interesting insight into, the state of music, where it's going, what he's seen, because he's been closer to the whole thing than even the bands are.
Yeah.
And that actually connected to a conversation I was having with Bruce Bacon, one of our greatest supporters, and he was talking about I'd love to get insight on how do you form a band and get that going in this day and age, and since Tom does that, but also supports and purports the bands that are doing that, I think he'd have some really interesting insight into that. So looking to connect a whole bunch of lines there, and very excited. It was a great treat to see Billy play. He's a heck of a player. And with that, the direct transition into that is, hey, tour gear, am I right?
I think that's a natural transition.
Yes. So if you're out there playing and you got your pedal board, you need to not be able to worry about it.
Maybe Tom Butler needs some tour gear design patch cables.
Some tour design patch cables. These will help your board out tremendously because
Why?
they're low profile and
Yes.
low footprint will allow you to get at least another pedal on there. Asterisks, don't call our lawyers. But because they won't answer, they're not there.
Yes.
The biggest thing is they're well made by good people, and they are super, super affordable.
Yes.
We've been supporting them for a long time. They've been supporting us for a long time.
Yes.
And we want you to go to that site, load up your card,
Load it up.
get the coupon code, put in the guitar knobs, all one word, and you're going to save how much, Tony?
You're going to say 15%.
Correct. We admonish you
Yes.
to do that.
Admonish? I don't think that's quite.
I was just checking to see if you'd catch that.
I don't think that's quite
No, it's
the right
not the right
word.
thing.
We
Encourage.
well, that's yeah.
Encourages. Yeah, that's a lighter weight. Anyways,
Yeah.
get out there and do it.
We demand.
Yes, Tony will admonish you later.
I will
if you
admonish you
don't.
if you don't.
Yes. So thank you so much to Tour Gear for sponsoring our Four on the Floor for so many years.
Let me get a little bit of this.
1, 2, 3.
Four on the floor.
All right. The great and wonderful Dr. No, what is your four-ish on the floor, or maybe a few on the floor.
A few is on the floor. On the floor, I could get my hands on a moon rock pedal. It was a loaner, and it was a pedal. I think it was built around 2002, 2003. But this guy, Glenn Wiley, he was called. He made these great three-dimensional aluminium plain gray pedals, and it's actually in the shape of a moon rock pedal.
Oh, yeah.
And he built it in 2002, I think, until I'm not sure. I think he passed away around 2013, 14. And he made it until then. So, and those are really rare. And what he did, I think when I played it, I think it has something to do with an Octavia fuzz pedal, which is, I think I looked inside, but the circuit was, the PCB was turned around, so I didn't want to open it because they are really, really expensive. I think he only
about
built
$3,000.
Yeah, exactly. And but a friend of mine had one, and I could borrow one. And that was a really interesting thing also because it has this vibe that we were talking about. This guy was also building, I think, they're little art pieces as well.
Yeah.
And so I played that. That was really interesting with the whole vibe and the mystical atmosphere almost. And the other two pedals actually that I also use now are two prototypes that I made recently with a collaboration that started in September but stopped recently. It was for Jack White. I was asked to make a pedal for Third Man Records, and those are called the Luge pedals, and those are two prototypes that I use now because they never come to see the daylight, unfortunately. But those I use now, which are fuzz was based on a octave fuzz with a wah integrated.
Oh, wow.
And it's, I think you can. The other one is close to. It's a 6-stage fuzz, so it's and it also has an Octavia in it. So it's a very heavy fuzz in the range of what Jack uses. These really extreme fuzz pedals with a wah-wah that I use now. So it's basically 3 on the floor.
There you go. Well, thank you so much for introducing us to the JS Wiley stuff. This is it's pretty neat, and I could definitely see how you would gravitate towards that. You know, not even audio withstanding. You know, it's he's kind of a visionary.
He's a Renaissance man, you know, and I like those eccentric types that create stuff. Not necessarily from a commercial point of view, but more as a passion and a true enthusiastic perspective on making instruments.
Yeah. Have you had a chance to play any of the other ones?
No, I can't find those. I saw them circling around on the internet, and I was totally gravitated towards it because of the style. I didn't know Glenn Wiley's work until recently. I discovered somebody who had one that I could borrow, so I can actually try it out and see.
Wow.
But I've never seen or had the opportunity to try his other work. No.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now that we've got the few on the floor in the bag, we've got a lot to discuss with you. You have recently put out an absolutely stunning looking pedal. Why don't you go ahead and kick us off with that?
Yeah, that started in February. It's almost 1.5 years ago. I started working on a concept which got my attention and it sparked when I was looking into historical artifacts from the Maya era. And that was the story of the Kukulkan, which is basically a mythical god, snake god, feathered snake god that is how do you say, connected to rain, storm, and earthquake, but also a god of creation. So in creative sense of, so he brought agriculture and stuff like that. And that was the first spark that I wanted to do something with that concept that resulted in reusing an old circuit that I had, but I made that circuit, which was basically a 3-stage fuzz pedal. But it was too, as you know, a circuit can exist from several stages that amplify, right? But this was too, it wasn't usable. So what I did is revise that design that I made. I think it was maybe 10 years ago. But I couldn't use it because it was just too loud, and you couldn't really use it. So I split up. What I did, I split up the gain stages and took them separately with separate volume knobs. I took away the tone and I took away the tone knob, so I left the volume knob, and I just took the 3 stages, copied the stages. And then I put 3 in them. So inside the Kukulkan are 3 of the same circuits, which cooperate together. So you can create one fuzz circuit when engaging all 3, but also use them separately. So you can basically define it as a preamp, like a stacked preamp. Most of the people use preamp, or how do you call it, a booster? You can also call it a booster, but nobody really stacks boosters in 3. So I want to put the same character in one design, in one box basically, which amplifies, which goes from rain to storm to earthquakes. That's basically the concept. And what I also wanted to try some new techniques, cosmetic wise. So I flocked the lettering, which is a technique that I used before. It's creating a glue layer, and then with electrostatic technique, you can flock or shoot hairs into the glue that generates this like peach kind of feel.
Yes.
And so that's what I did. But when I was, it was an old design, and I used some transistors that when I was ready with making this, I couldn't find the transistors anymore. So there was this kind of new old stock phenomenon that I couldn't find anymore. So I was looking into equivalent, but there wasn't really an equivalent. So I found a way of creating my own thing with an alternative, and those are really powerful. So my idea was to specifically name the transistors, which became the skull sisters. So you now have small, it's inside, so you can't see it, which is stupid, but
you know they're there. And the person who bought the pedal knows they're there, and they can't wait to tell people about it.
Yeah, exactly. So it was this weird thing. I'm a great admirer of an artist in the Netherlands who makes these huge robots of servos, and they are basically the size of a car. And they all work and operate like robots, but then he cast them in a concrete block. So that's a really cool phenomenon for me. So that's the whole idea with the skull sisters, which is an insane amount of work to get those transistors and make those transistors, but it's inside, so you can never see them. So I put a sticker on the side that the Kukulkan contains these skull sisters. Yeah, so,
that is just That's so awesome.
Yeah.
I don't recall that we've ever come across custom transistors before.
Have you thought about a little clear
No.
box to see inside?
Yeah, and people are opening them now, which is cool to just to verify if it's real.
Nice.
Could you include an X-ray machine with every pedal?
That's glorious.
Yeah, but it was, the plan was to release it way before, but I got another assignment in between, which was a request to develop something for Third Man Records. So that was on a hold for a while. So that was the reason why it arrived. What is it? A year later.
Yeah.
So, but now it's released and it's gone already. So people liked it, and I just wanted to do this, and I had this limited amount of these skulls, so I can't do any more.
Yeah.
So I made 100, and they are gone. Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And if you're looking at these, even there's not any available. You might when you look at the foot switches, it almost looked like there's like that they are like Hawaiian leis or something, some sort of like a flower thing. But upon closer inspection, those are also skulls.
Yes, but the idea was to because the Kukulkan mystery is kind of secretive, so you have to figure out. My personal and side interest, besides making my work, is deocculting occult stuff. So basically, hidden information is one of my hobbies, and what I like to do is to integrate these kind of hidden secrets inside my work. That's the thing that I like to do.
Did I just ruin that?
No, you didn't ruin anything. but also you have to figure some stuff out. For example, if you look at the Kukulkan, it's 3 phases, right? 3 gain stages that you can activate separately, but you normally think in line. So the switch that you engage connects with the knob above, which isn't the case with the Kukulkan. So it's confusing. So it generates this confusion that you have to think about operating this device, which... Yeah, so for example, I have one here. Let me see. So the colors of the switches connect to the colors of the knobs, not in line. So yes. So it's for some people they immediately contacted me because I don't say this.
Right.
People have to figure this out, and Ken Jace.
You have to be smarter than the pedal.
Yes, exactly. You have to think about a simple operation, which is cool, right?
Yeah.
For me, at least. For some, it wasn't cool because I immediately received some very angry emails that it didn't work, and the knobs were connected wrongly, and but they didn't get the point. But it's then of course I explain that you have to find the secrets of the Kukulkan, which is the weird connection with the knob is one of them. So that was something I wanted to do for a while, just generate some cool confusion that you normally don't think about, or when using a guitar pedal. So that's one of the secrets, 2 of the secrets actually.
Yeah, and that's a big box, isn't it?
It's a big box, but I had to use a big box because I also liked, like Billy likes to paint and expose the art. So I needed some canvas to work with. Yeah.
Well, that's something that you have consistently just wowed us with. Like it is a beautiful thing to look at, even if it's just like. If you just put it in your car and put the seatbelt over it and took it to the supermarket, it is beautiful. It's just really stunning.
It was fun to make. It was really fun to make. It's also challenging to make, which is
Yeah. Well, and I love that you kind of switched up the flocking a little bit. In the past, you've flocked a lot of the like the main the enclosure and such.
Yeah.
But this one, you flock the knobs and the pedal rings, which I thought was a really nice touch because the artwork is so intricate that which then it would start to kind of lose its tooth, so to speak.
Yeah, and also on the front of the pedal, you see the name Kukulkan.
Yeah.
In white, that is also flocked. So the lettering is flocked.
Yeah.
So I silk. What you do with flocking technique is you apply a layer of glue, epoxy glue, and that attracts the fibers.
Yeah.
So I silk screened the lettering, and then I flocked the lettering. So the lettering on front is also flocked, which is a technique which normally you don't use flocking that way. So that was challenging for me, which was fun to do.
Yeah. When we did our first fun thing, when we did the Fez pedal. I flocked that in orange, and I had no idea what I was doing. The first couple probably didn't work out that well, but then I was like, "Oh, okay, wait a minute, I got to change this up and everything." But I think it is such a neat way to just make something a little different and special.
Exactly, and it takes effort and knowledge because, like you say, you have to figure it out because every material and every flocking fiber and color and size uses a different method. You have to dilute the glue a little bit more or have an underlayer. So it's a lot of work, but it's fun. It's fun to figure out.
Yeah,
it's a cool technique.
Hang on 1 second. So we do have something. So apparently, Billy just bought your last one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's what it said.
He just put in the order.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was already gone.
Well,
there was one left. Yeah, I thought last week there were 3 or 4 left, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, it says there was one left, and Billy just bought it.
Oh, okay, then it's gone.
That's awesome, Billy.
But I have some cool news. I saved you one, so I will send it soon, so you can check it out.
What?
So you have 2 now.
Whoa! Seriously? Dang.
Yeah, seriously. I saved you number 1.
No, you didn't. No, you did not do that. Did you really do that?
I did. Yeah, I can show you. I have
Oh
to prove
my
here.
God! Wow, that's amazing.
So
wait.
you can check it out. I'm really curious what you think about it.
Yeah. No, I saw it. Woo!
And terrorists are gone. So.
Yeah, I don't. I'm just. There's got to be for our English language. We've done such a terrible. The people of the snow in the north have come up with 800 ways to say snow, but we can't come up with an escalated way to say thank you.
Oh no! No, don't mention it, man. Don't.
Oh my goodness sakes! Okay, wow. I'm definitely, my face and my neck is definitely all red right now. I need a second.
It's all
calm
right
down.
now.
I'm all verklempt.
He's got the vapors.
I got the vapors. Wow.
Yeah, you have to check that. I think hearing what your preferences are, I think it's right up your alley.
I'm just.
Wow,
my face hurts from. I'm smiling so big right now.
It's going to crack.
Wow.
Your face is going to crack.
What also a cool, it's not like a hidden feature, but that's an experience that a lot of, I stopped working with retailers, right? So what I do, I prefer to, when people like to buy it, I did do it directly from me. So I have direct contact with the musician that actually uses my work, right?
Yeah.
So it's more easier to get feedback or people respond to what I make, which is really cool, and I really appreciate when people do that. What I get back now was a feature that I really didn't thought of myself as an addition, but people say that they use it with the rest of their pedals and the rest of their instruments, and they. A thing that comes back frequently now is that everything sounds more juicy. Is the general thing. So it generates more. It gets more out of the things that you're already using in a way. It boosts or amplifies the character of pedals, other pedals, which is a really cool feature that I didn't really thought about. That wasn't on purpose.
Yeah. Well, I love in this pedal, I think you've done something that most of us, I think a lot of people crave. It could just be me, but in discussions I've had with people, that seems to be a thing where we like having, we like stacking pedals. We like being able to push and pull our sounds. But one of the problems is when you're stacking, you're also pushing something into a whole different set of components that may not like that signal altogether that's coming in. But the beauty of something like this is that you have your full range of gain structure that you probably want to use in a show or in your own music that you're creating, or just playing for the passion of it, without having to compromise. Oh, I really like the drive of this pedal, but it's a little dark, or it's a little woofy, or it's too round, or So I think this is like it's oddly from coming from your shop, very utilitarian in some ways.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
I understand what you. Yeah, and also the whole basic idea, the initial idea that it was for this pedal was that I was trying to do this with Chris Goss, and Chris Goss is one of my all-time favorite musicians. He's the main guy of a band called Masters of Reality.
Yeah, we've heard of them.
And no,
we have. Yes.
Yeah. So he's also from the desert scene, and in what was it? I think in '99 he released an album which is called "Welcome to the Western Lodge," and that was a really impressive record for me. And there's a song on that record. It's called "Annihilation of the Spirit." And that guitar sound haunted me for like decades. There was something that I didn't know what was going. Normally, when you make pedals, I think at least you can analyze what's going on, and so you can define. Okay, he's using this and this and this and this. But with the annihilation of the spirit, I couldn't figure out what he was doing. But I was so attracted to that kind of sound, which sounded naturally, but super exaggerated, like almost broken. I can explain it the best, like this beautiful broken sound. And I was trying to create that for me because it's so powerful. So I contacted Chris. I was in contact with him for a while because he was also working with a friend of mine, Alan Johannes, and we came in contact with. I came in contact with him, and we talked about stuff. He's also into the occult stuff, which is a very cool way of having conversations with somebody who's also this rare interest.
And we had him on the show.
Yeah, Alan. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm talking about Chris Goss.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Yeah.
Different guy altogether.
But by way of that, anyways, go ahead.
I know you had him on the show. So I asked Chris what was happening with the annihilation of the spirit, and he said it was just Marshall, I think GCM 800s over the max with a lot of mics. I said, okay. So you can't recreate that kind of sound. And so we started to discuss to make a pedal together. But he's all over the place. So he's really difficult to have a conversation or a constructional conversation with. So eventually I said, he gave me directions and ways to create things that wasn't really in my realm or my interest, which I said, no, I don't want to go in this direction. I want to create this myself. Then if you're really pushing into going into this direction. And so we didn't agree actually on the actual concept of where I wanted to go. And so I took it out of this place, but still with the inspiration of the song Annihilation of the Spirit in mind, I created this, which is exactly what the sound is of the Annihilation of the Spirit. If you want to recreate it, which for me was like, okay, this is what I was looking for. I can take it off the bucket list of figuring it out. Figuring out. So there was also a cool aspect of the Kukulkan, which is the base idea of where it derived from.
Man,
that's what I call a backstory.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yes, it's all little. Yeah, all my work has little stories like that. Even more bigger stories or little stories, but they all derive from a sentiment that I create, and I create a story or a vision on it that I can translate into what I do. Mm-hmm. So this is the story of the Kukulkan. Yeah.
Well,
I think
when the last time we had you on, you had just finished something, and I believe at the time, if I recall this correctly, you were not necessarily sure what you were going to do next. You were kind of like waiting for it to arrive
exactly
in your mind. And so in that time when it's a new pedal, I was like, oh, I can't wait to see what this is going to be, because you consistently just come up with these incredible story pedals, and this does not disappoint.
No, yes, and sometimes it's just frustrating because you just want to create something, but you don't have the spark or the beginning of a concept. So sometimes you have to wait until the inspiration arrives. You can pick it out of the air at any given moment. So you have to wait or look for it or think. Maybe I can find it here, and sometimes you're just listening to music or seeing a friend or whatever, and then all of a sudden it sparks and it generates this idea and it accelerates.
Yeah.
So, and that's the point that for me at least, I think I'm on the right direction of developing something, because then it really accelerates. And then it starts to make this 5D rendering in my head of how it's going to look. I can change colors, I can change sounds, I can change the concept, I can change names. So after a while, it's just one big 5D rendering on how high. But then I have to manifest, so I have to create. And most of the time, the things that I create in this 5D internal rendering, it has these components that are non-existing, so you have to create everything.
Let's talk about that for a bit, because I think maybe not everyone knows the incredible lengths that you go to actually make most everything that you're doing from scratch. There are no skull zisters. There are no skull foot pedal or foot switch rings. There, when you did the moon, the thing that absolutely just dusted me was watching the making of the Moon Canyon. Oh my God!
No.
So,
that was elaborate. Yeah.
So where, if you wouldn't mind, discussing this just a bit to get people who might not be familiar with that our first backstory there. You are a creator, but the things that you're doing, it's very industrial. You're doing silkscreen, you're doing molding, you're doing metalwork, you're doing. It's like get us into that a little bit.
Yeah, that's basically the thing that I love to talk about most. So the creation part is basically what we just talked about. Is you have to. It's just creating a song. You can't sit in a rehearsal room and make up a song which is good. you have to wait, and you're probably at the place somewhere else, and then you have this thing in your head that you want to explore, right? And then it starts. So that's the same thing with how I create my work. I'm not sure if you're interested in my new team, which is my new story. Actually, is based on a story that started with some kind of force. And with force, I mean I was asked to create something for somebody else, which is a totally different way of creating, because then there's some deadline or some expectations that you have to create, and sometimes that can work. Mm-hmm. If you receive the right motivation and the right, how do you say, sparks or starting points to create on, which for me is often the opposite of a successful creation.
Yeah.
And it started. And that started with Jack White asked me to create a pedal for Third Man Records, and this was just this kind of story. So basically, his concept is basically he asked, I want to have this, and it has to go in this direction. I am autonomous. So I like to create myself. I don't want to interfere. I don't want the interference from outside what I can and can do, because that interferes with the organic way of creation. So it's limited. You limit yourself. So that generated two things that were okay, in my opinion, but not finished, because there was this force of direction behind it. Mm-hmm. So that stagnated the whole process of what I was actually trying to make. And one of my other friends who was also involved with this process was, and I have some friends that I can contact with for feedback, because it's the difficult thing when creating yourself. You can sometimes corrupt yourself, thinking things are good or totally fantastic, but if you show it other people who give their honest opinion, they can shatter that corruption for yourself. So that's what I need sometimes when I think it's totally awesome in my head, which is difficult to explain to others. When I have a 5D rendering in my head with all the components, story, cosmetic-wise, sound-wise, the whole background story, how it evolves, really difficult to convey that kind of rendering to somebody else, and then they can feedback on it.
Yeah.
So, but I have some friends who can do that, and one of them is David Ketching. Alan is another one, and Ruben Block from Triggerfinger is the other one. So I have some friends that I ask for their opinion, because I know they give their honest opinion, not like as some friends do. It's fantastic. It's not that doesn't work for me. So I have to have these really unsalted salted opinions.
Yeah.
And David, I explained today, David is one of the people that totally understands what I am doing without explaining it. So he's also, I don't know if you know his studio. His studio is called Rancho de la Luna. It's in the Joshua Tree.
Yeah.
And his studio is like one big museum of art, music instruments that are almost art, and people who go there resonate with all the art pieces as in musical instruments, and that generates this whole magical inspiration, and a lot of really cool music comes from that place, because that place is charged with that phenomenon. And so I asked him, okay, what do you think about this initial idea? And said, yes, it's okay, but it's not finished. And I think you know what I mean. And I said, yeah, if I be honest, it's not finished. So what I actually wanted to do was, I had this idea of creating, from my interest of the occult stuff, which is also the reason why I also went to Bern a week ago, is to find more spark and more inspiration to do this new project, which I found. And it's basically, I have this thing with the Holy Trinity, and it's coming from Hermetism. It's a alchemist kind of approach on living. And what I was the Holy Trinity is basically to find the Philosopher's Stone with the three elements of sulfur, mercury, and salt, which is still abstract, right? So, because how are you going to translate this into a guitar pedal, basically, with a story?
Right.
So it's with Hermetism comes from the alchemist Hermes Trismegistus, and he uses the Holy Trinity to find the Philosopher's Stone, which is basically find balance in your life or whatever, with the three wisdoms of alchemy. So what I thought, okay, 3, which basically the whole idea with Jack White, 3 is he is also using the 3.
Right.
So, but I couldn't go further than 1 or 2 because I was stuck in limitations. So to finish the story with Jack White, that ended up being stopped because we couldn't match up. It was a more a complex story, but I won't go into that now because it's not really relevant of what I'm trying to explain regarding to creating the new thing. But it was so I was working with just three, and there was a thing, and I'm not going to put three effects in one pedal like a multi effect. No, it's not going to be that way. So I have to. I want to generate this feeling of alchemy, whatever the perception of general perception of alchemy that is. Basically, for me, creating music with instruments, especially effects, is basically music alchemy, right? Because you manipulate the sounds of your natural signals to create whatever outcome you like to have. It's basically alchemy. So I was thinking about three. So with only that in mind, I went to Bern, and I went to some museums and some places and people who could tell me more about the alchemy and Hermes Trismegistus and the occult stuff. So I could elaborate more on that thing. And what I found there was I want to. What I'm doing now is basically 3 wah-wah pedals connected in one. So you have 3 pedals with 3, not with wah-wahs, but with the foot rocker that manipulate the certain potentiometers of, for example, what I'm integrating. I wanted to do a oscillator that you can use with your foot. So basically, it's a delay,
cool.
which you can oscillate with your foot. So you're always, when you want to oscillate and play, you always have to bend down on your knees on your pedal board and turn the feedback knob, right, to have it oscillated. But I want to do it with my foot. So that's one part of the 3.
That's
the
cool.
other part. So basically, it's 3 wah-wah pedals connected, fused together. But far enough so they don't interfere with your foot, but close enough so that you can use the outer 2 from the middle, if that makes any sense. And the other one is a fuzz with a tremolo, and you can speed up the tremolo. That's the first one. And the middle one is a uni-vibe that you can vary the speed with your foot. So it has nothing to do with a specific sound, but you can make your own magic potion, basically, and mix and match and manipulate with your foot while still playing, which was very important for me. So you have to you use your both hands to play, generate sounds with your guitar, and with your foot you can express more. Because you don't want to lose your other hand, playing hand, because then you can create tones or sounds. So that was the whole idea. So this new idea is to basically, it's called the Trismegistus, and it's going to be a alchemy kind of pedal with all the elements, with all the stereotype, because alchemy is really abstract for a lot of people, but there are a lot of stereotypes that connect to what I'm trying to say. So I'm integrating all those things together, and I'm doing this with my friend David Ketching, because he understands, and it's really easy to. So it's going to be a collaboration.
Wow.
With David Ketching, where we're going to create this alchemical pedal, which is called the Trismegistus.
That's
and now it's still in my head, and I actually, before we start calling today, I was fusing the three pedals, the three wah-wah pedals together, so it's one bass with three separate foot rockers.
Wow.
Wow.
That's cool.
That sounds incredible.
That does sound incredible. So two things I want to comment on that. Number one, I at least my interpretation is, as you continue to build the type of pedals that you're doing, I appreciate that you are taking into consideration, like, you don't want to take the player out of the moment to adjust or to add or manipulate the sound. By like taking them, like, okay, now I got to turn this off and go over here and do that. And that's something I really appreciate about the things you're doing. They're considerate of what is the player, where's the player's head, where are they trying to go, how can you provide that pathway and still make it a remarkable outcome.
Exactly. And what if your foot is also a tool to use instruments?
Yes.
You have two hands, right? And you play guitar, and you switch on and switch off knobs to manipulate your sound. But to express with your foot in connection with how you feel to play is a totally different dimension.
Yeah.
So, and people who play wah-wahs know that feeling, right? Because they use their foot because they want to express a certain stroke,
yes,
or a certain note in a certain moment, or a certain position of the wah-wah, which is a totally different approach of, or extra dimension of playing guitar, for me at least. And I want to expand on that. So not as in a wah-wah, but in vibration and in speeds and in oscillation.
Yeah.
So, and I don't want the separate things. I want to have them in one thing that you can use separately. And also what I like to do is I want to do things that have never been done before. So I also want to. There are people. I looked, because I don't want to copy. I want to create new things, and so I didn't see that concept of actually three fused wah-wahs in one bass and then three separate. So I thought this is really unique, and then I come back to the beginning. It totally connects to the three that started the spark. Yeah, which and then it's a full circle. Full circle, and then I feel okay. Now it's done. Now the rendering and the coloring and all the elements are manifesting inside my head, basically, as the 5D rendering. And now I start to, and they have all these components that aren't existent. So I have to create all the components and all the circuits and all the. There aren't 50K potentiometers for the oscillation of the reverb. So with how do you say, like a wah-wah potentiometer, you have to create them yourself. They are non-existent. Wow. So you have to make those and or find those of people who make those and all the elements. This is going to be like a crazy endeavor.
And that's the thing that you seem to really love.
Yeah.
Yeah. The pursuit of it.
And the challenge. That's more fun. The most fun thing for me to do. I don't want to repeat or do things that are easy to me because it's not challenging. It's boring for me.
It's interesting that the way that you come across pedals is not unlike. Well, I think you kind of mentioned it at the beginning, but I know I started likening it to, if you are open to receiving things, right? So if you go down in your basement or your wherever you got your guitar stuff, and you say, "I'm going to make a song," 99.999% of the time that's not going to happen.
No.
But if you're open, and then pretty soon you're like, "Oh my gosh, I've been playing this thing for 20 minutes. This is totally a thing." It's just like when things come to you, it's so exciting. But it can also be tricky because I will then get like, okay, I know what this whole thing is. I see where this is from beginning to end, but it isn't complete. I don't have a manifestation of it yet. But then I have to communicate that to my band, who's like, well, and I'm like, nope, you got to go with me on this. I have the vision. I know it's going to make it there. Just be patient. It will come together. Which is also not unlike. We talked about the creative process on the show. We've talked about it to each other over phone and email and stuff. It is a fascinating thing, and it is one of the very, very few things that are unique to humans. And
exactly, it's the urge to create. Yeah.
So that can come across whether you're making a meal. You're coming up with some kind of new meal or a painting, or in my case, when I'm working in my actual job, and I say, boom, I got an idea, and I throw out a couple things to try to get the ball rolling, and I see heads shaking like, we don't get it, or that seems a little. It's hard because you're like, don't please don't start doing that. Let this bloom a little bit. I trust me, you'll get there. And so that's one of the hard parts, because then you're convinced and and you have a truth about that idea, but then getting everybody else on board is a hard thing, but it's also wildly rewarding when you do.
Yes, it is. The most challenging part of everything is probably not the most obvious. Is what I fear most is confirmation, confirming on the status quo. So repeating yourself, and because every time I'm doing this 26 years now. When you get older, when you getting older, you're starting to choose safe ways and the path that and that limits the creation. For me, that's the biggest challenge. So I have more ideas than I could ever accomplish in my life, probably. But sometimes you just have to explore the idea and then just leave it alone for a while. And then it probably further on the road, it develops more, or you just have to shoot it because it wasn't the idea that you were looking for. And the whole, I think the whole nature of humans is to every time do the next best thing. And not repeating, because we are always evolving. And for example, if we look at the behavior of our technology, we want to do the next new thing. We want to evolve, and I think creation is one of the more abstract things in how we approach, or most people approach life, is to have this a sense of meaning. And I think that sense of meaning is the most clear in creating things. And unfortunately, some people aren't even they want to create, but aren't able to create because they have their mortgages and their 9-to-5 structures to pay the bills, which is very unfortunate. And I'm really fortunate that I'm in a position that I have time to explore creation and create all the time, because that's the thing that consumes me, is creation and creating all the time. If it's not physical, then it's in my head, but that motor is the motor of creation is always running. in my existence. So that's really cool that I have the opportunity to go beyond the conservative approaches and which is really cool. And I also have to thank the people that appreciate my work and buy my work, so I can continue doing this, which I'm very, very grateful for. That I can continue. I've never thought that I can do this for 26 years, and people. That's the gift from the people that appreciate my work, is that I can continue it because they buy my little art pieces and my work. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So that's
I have a question for you in regards to creating. Who does your video work? I just saw the ad for the Coco Guns. It's great.
Yeah, it was mainly you have these making of videos, but I like to do things the unorthodox way. So I was basically filming the whole process, and I wanted to attach the feeling of what I wanted to translate to people to understand what was going on. I do my own video work. I do everything myself. I only have help with. I'm a very tactile person, so what I can do is figure out how to translate concept drawings, fine-tune them in, for example, Illustrator or Photoshop. I can work with computers. I'm very analog-minded, and so I have help with people who translate my concept and ideas and drawings into actual compositions of what it's supposed to be, so I can actually silk screen it and make films for the silk screens. And so that's the only, but all the rest, everything is done by myself. Everything. Yeah.
That's cool.
Before we transition, one of the things that struck me when you were talking about, when you're working through your ideas, a lot of people who are I will just say either beginning to exercise their creative mind or, are dabbling or want to do that kind of thing. There is a natural desire in us to try to find things to completion as soon as possible.
Yeah.
And do it in a way that has no mistakes. That's a way that we're just kind of always, we approach most things in life. But you were telling me that story, and it reminded me of in Antibes, where you're located in France, the Picasso Museum. One of the fascinating things about that, it was when I went through that, it blew me away. There's an entire room, huge room, and it's piles and piles. It's like piles of plates, piles of half-done sculptures, drawings all over the place, stacks and stacks of paintings. All these things he never finished, but were in motion because he clearly chasing certain things that haven't quite landed yet. And that was kind of a pivotal thing. I mean, that stopped me in my tracks, and I said, okay, I didn't understand this part when I was going through art school about being open to, receiving where your mind might be going in creation, and being okay with not having to finish it immediately.
Yeah, I think what you're mentioning, I totally understand what you're trying to explain. Is those parts. Hopefully, someday you will visit here, and then you also see those piles, right? But those piles of things are in retrospect, they are parts of future things. Yeah, they are just experiments or explorations of what you're trying to make, but not, you couldn't figure it out in that a small moment. So you just create an element of a part that's usable, that you can use later, but not knowing that you're going to use that later. It's just going on the pile.
Yeah.
And those consist of elements that you later use. That could be technical, like circuits, but they can also be techniques, in my case, or elements. And I never understand within myself what, for example, for me to explain it more in depth, is if sometimes I'm making something and I don't know why, but it's just the urge to make that thing. And for example, I was experimenting to create a human aspect into a in my case, guitar pedal, which I try to explore. How can you integrate that you have this? For example, which is a very cool comparison, is when robots look like people, you emphasize with them as being human. When you kick a human-like robot, it's a totally different experience than kicking your lawnmower, and because people, people emotionally react on the cosmetical aspect and also the human aspect when it's integrated into a piece that you practically use as a tool in life. And so I was experimenting with that, but I don't have a certain direction or goal with that part or that phenomenon that I want to explore. But later on, it will always come to, I will look into the pile, and then this is the exact element that I was trying to explore and that I need now. That's a really abstract part and time when creating. So sometimes I have these piles of techniques that I just want to explore, and I have this idea it's going to be this direction, but then I just stop doing that because I have a better idea that I want to continue on, and maybe 10 at the same time, which is in my case always the case. I have 10 ideas running simultaneously in my head, but someone automatically and naturally creates the priority because that seems like the best idea, which is existing of the most visual complete elements that I can work on. So the pile that you're describing is basically what I could describe as the experiments for a future thing that is going to be compiled of the piles, basically.
Yeah, that's exciting stuff.
If it makes any sense, yeah.
You know, when you were talking about the kicking the robot, it made me think of one of my all-time favorite commercials where we see this. It's a curb. It's starting to rain, and there's a lamp sitting there, and the shade is kind of tilted down, and and then it's a slow push in, and you start to feel something, and then all of a sudden it pans back out, and there's the Swedish guy, and he's like, "Why are you crying? It's a lamp. It has no feelings." You know, it's from IKEA. It's an IKEA commercial. I was like, "Oh my gosh, what? Yes, I was feeling that."
But let me ask you this: if your lawnmower was humanoid shaped, would you feel the same way about kicking it as a robot?
Because you automatically connect it to feeling. So
we are kind of pre-programmed to like things that look like us.
AI in humanoids,
But yet we are also the cruelest to those forms than anything on Earth.
But also, in fact, I just got an electric cordless mower.
Is it humanoid shaped?
And it looks kind of like R2-D2, sort of. It's the same colors. But it drives different, and I wasn't real happy with it.
Did you kick it?
Instead of kicking it, I was talking to it. I was like, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? It's like rearing up on me. I'm like, why are you doing that?
R2, cut the grass.
That's too funny.
A little lower this time.
It's just funny to experiment with that kind of emotions and to integrate it and see what happens. You know, what kind of influence does it have on using it? what kind of feeling provokes it, so that you can hopefully get something out of it to create yourself.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm basically trying to do. With my work, is to provoke a feeling, or at least some spark or emotion that generates a feeling, so that you can expand on that.
Yeah. Well, I don't think anybody does it better than you, my friend. So
Yeah.
I can't wait for all the new stories to come.
Yes, man. I'm like I said, I'm really thankful that I can still do this and continue this, and that's all has something to do with the people who appreciate it. So, yeah. Thanks for those people.
Yes,
Indeed.
Thank you, people. Billy, who's now one of those people.
Thank you, Billy.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
I'm a buyer.
But you're an artist.
Yeah.
You're a musician. You're an art. You
I
get
can
it.
relate
You
to everything.
appreciate it.
Yeah. I can relate to everything you've said.
Yeah,
today.
but all the people who use this are artists. Everyone is an artist. It's not like like a diploma or a.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just everybody who creates, which people do daily, are artists.
It's something shockingly that I hear an awful lot in my profession. And if I'm sitting across from a client and they say, "Well, I'm not creative, but," and I immediately, anytime I hear one of my clients or a partner or whomever say that, I shut that down so quickly, because if you let that perpetuate, you create a divide between each other, and that is poison to a relationship. And everybody has a potential to think of things and to be creative. It is, do you have that next step to take that further? You don't have to be the person that completes all of it. You know, I go to my friend Matt, who's a drummer in my band, who's highly technically motivated. And I come to him with ideas all the time, because he's a great outlet, because I can't do the stuff he does, but I still want to breathe some life into the thing I'm pursuing.
Yes, but there are there are different ways to approach that kind of expression. Is that everyone is creative, but it has to do something to do with time. But also, when you want to be creative, you can also search for people who have the same urge to create, and you can do it together.
Yeah.
Because when you put minds together, you can generate a spark in each other, which is also has an accelerating effect in creating. So I was while we were talking and listening, and also because of the situation of the podcast, which is 10 years old, I was thinking at the same time, maybe it's a cool idea, because it's 10 years of Guitar Knobs podcast. Maybe it's a good idea to ask if people who are listening to why aren't we going to create a 10-year anniversary guitar effect, and why aren't we asking people for their creative input, so we can put all the ideas together and finally create a 10-year anniversary Guitar Knobs podcast pedal. I would like to do that. For example, I would really like to see if people are not afraid to put in their ideas, and then all combine the ideas into a final result. Is that maybe that's a cool idea?
Now, the only problem I see
I gotta
is
close my mouth.
10 is not divisible by 3.
No, but
He might be able to make that, actually.
But the cool thing is one of my most imaginary pedals is the Roadrunner, and that existed from and with David Ketching also. My friend, and he said, "What are the limitations?" I said, "There are no limitations."
Oh. Wow.
So we can make a flying pedal. Yes, of course we can make a flying pedal. So let's go. And that's the whole thing that sparked endless imaginations, even shared hallucinations, and about how it's going to be, how it's going to look. It has to have wings. Yes, of course, it has to have wings, but otherwise it can fly. And the whole story, so we created wings. So there are no limitations. And I would like to, maybe it's a cool experiment, because this whole podcast, and you're doing this for 10 years, are involving people who are doing this, and also listeners who like to be involved in creating. So I would like to invite you basically to set up a
suggestion
I don't know.
page.
Yeah.
The suggestion.
We can do that.
Page with all the ideas. And nowadays you have AI. If people have difficulties to explain their ideas in text, they can generate an image or whatever. Every input is welcome to create something together, which of course I have a lot of material knowledge and a lot of how I can manifestate ideas that are non-existent. So I will finally create that pedal or pedals or 10 or whatever. We'll figure it out. But with all the inputs combined together of all the people who put in their creative ideas, maybe that's a cool experiment and idea for the podcast as well.
That's an incredible idea and totally unexpected too.
So we'll talk about some of the off show. We'll talk about some of the things you might be looking for, but I suspect that we're not just saying, oh, I want, what if we did a delay? It's I think being open to thematic pursuits, story pursuits would be amazing.
Yeah, but again, that again is also a starting with a sort of limitation. There are no limitations. So first, I think everybody has to give his input and vision, and from there we filter down what could be the common denominator, and figure out which could be elements of several, because they are going to be very elaborate ideas, very a lot of fantasy, which is but you have to translate. So together we have to agree, which will be the difficult part, to have a democratic outcome, that everybody's satisfied with the integration of their part of their idea. So it's not going to be one is going to be the winner of the best idea. No, all the ideas is going to be filtered and fused together, so that most of the good ideas that are connecting to this hopefully possible project to have the outcome, so that everybody recognizes his own part of it.
I'm just really kind of speechless right now.
And that's unusual for Todd.
I'm just sitting here shaking my head with my mouth open, because I'm like, thank you, first of all.
Wow.
And what an absolute honor this is going to be.
Wow. Yeah, but it is connecting. So what I found, like I said before, I know you guys better than you know me, because I listen to the podcast otherwise all the time. And I think there's a lot of people listening who also want to be involved in the conversation, but they can't say anything, or they have their ideas. And I think this could be a cool opportunity to connect with the people who are listening and also have ideas, and probably fantastic creative ideas.
I agree.
And I think that's a cool interaction and connection. Yeah, let's do it.
I love that idea.
Wow. I'm Who knew I was going to wake up to this today?
Yeah.
Wow.
There you go.
I have to say, there's only one rule, and that there are no rules, basically.
I like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we
have thrown down the gauntlet.
We will follow up with more information on this, but what an exciting opportunity we all have.
Yeah.
Because we can all be involved in some level, and
obviously
that's a really cool thing.
Have fun.
Wow. Okay. So yes, we'll talk about that later. Thank you. That is a gesture that what are we gonna do? The only thing that we can do to honor that is to make something incredible, and I know that we will.
Yes.
And we will, definitely. Yes, of course. With all the input, for sure.
All right. Well, with that, I'm turning to my compatriot, Tony.
Yes.
Who I will say this just can't work without Tony. I don't know how to say my appreciation for you, Tony, as you're mocking me right now. But truly, you are so important to this. You are also one of my dear friends as a result of it, and I can't thank you enough for going along with on the ride with me here.
Well, and obviously this wouldn't exist without you and the work that you do. So I'm tipping my chapeau back to you, because that is, I appreciate what you do, lining up guests.
Yes, I know you're really just wanting me to drop money in your chapeau, but I'm not going to. Okay, let's get on to our.
I didn't even know he had a chapeau.
I'm not a chapeau guy, but
can I ask one more thing? Because the 10 years is not nothing, and we went over it like it's a fact. But I have I'm just curious. But this is 10 years of what you're doing. This is a pretty long time, and it's a very. I think I speak for a lot of people. Very valuable concept and podcast, and also how you are doing this and how you involve people that feel seen, and it's more. I think the perception from what you guys are doing for over 10 years is way more valuable than you probably understand. So I was just curious how it feels for you for doing this for 10 years.
It doesn't feel like 10 years. I mean, it really doesn't. It's like, I mean, when you throw that number out there, it doesn't feel real.
I think as we're approaching 500 episodes, that is a little bit almost more of a
wake me up.
but that's a value statement in a different way, because that's a measurement. But 10 years is an accumulation in a different way, because those years are my years and your years. Yeah. But it's also everybody else's years that have been along with us for so long, and everybody who's contributed to the show, and the people that we meet when we go to events, or when I get texts from our patrons, like Bob Crouch or Bruce Bacon or Trevor Ellenberg, or so many other people. Sorry, I could drop a whole bunch of you guys, but those are the last 3 that I had. And with people like you, Dr. No, who excite us, we want to talk about these things, and the fact that everyone out there that we've talked to is actually out there pursuing their creative endeavors and making things, not just sitting on the couch going, "I wish I could do it." They're doing it, and they're contributing to all of our capabilities of making music, which is also significantly human. So I love it.
And one important thing that you don't mention is you bring inspiration, which is one of the biggest gifts you can give, and that's how I experience your podcast and all the guests that you have on, and how you approach this podcast is you bring inspiration, and that's a really rare and valuable gift that you give. And you didn't forgot, or don't know if you're aware of doing this, but that's a really big part of why I listen to you guys talking to guests, because it's inspirational.
The feeling is mutual. I can tell you that.
That's certainly not something that we're like leading consciously with. I think it's a natural byproduct of wanting to connect.
Maybe, but I think it's an underrated part of your podcast. So,
well,
thank you.
Thank you so very much for those kind words. They mean a great deal to us. Okay, man, I'm. My heart is full. Tony,
yes,
get
Todd.
us into some silliness.
All right, back to silly. At this point of the show, there's a little game we like to play called
Would You Rather?
Yes, Would You Rather.
Okay.
The game that's sweeping the nation and the world.
Yes.
This week's Would You Rather. So you're you're walking down the street,
Uh-huh.
and you spy this shop
Uh-huh.
off to the side. You've never seen it before. It's as if it were magically transplanted there.
Manifested. Yes.
A manifestation.
A magic infestation.
So you walk in, and you're looking around, and you go to the back of the store, and their little pedal display. And they've got pedals, but a kind of a limited supply. They've got 10 Wazacraft Boss pedals.
Okay.
And Dr. No, you're in luck because they also have 3 GS Wiley pedals there.
Oh.
Now, you've got $100 in your pocket.
That's not going to get you very far.
It's not going to get you very far no matter what. But you know what?
What? Yes.
The pedal genie appears.
Thank goodness.
Oh, my goodness. Pedal genie says, "Why so sad, dude?"
Yeah. I think of the pedal genie as Dr. Bombay from Bewitched.
Dr. Bombay.
Yeah.
Oh, like Paul Lind.
No.
No, that's not Dr. Bombay?
No. Oh, everybody, you can go look up Dr. Bombay.
Okay. Well, anyhow. So he's like, and you say, "Pedal genie, I only got $100 in my pocket, and I'd love to get some of these pedals." He says, "Well,
I'll give you 3 Liz.
I'm gonna help you out here." So the pedal genie whispers into the clerk's ear, and the clerk appears to be kind of hypnotized. And the clerk says, "All right, you can have these 10 Wazacraft pedals for your $100, or you can have these 3 GS Wiley pedals for $100. Make your mind up quick before I change my mind." And guess what? So in the Wazacraft line, you've got the CE2W Wazacraft Chorus. You got the DC2 Dimension C. You got the DM2W Craft Delay. You got the Blues Driver Waza. You got the Metal Zone Waza. You got the Super OD Waza, the Craft Fuzz, the Craft Heavy Metal, the Craft Vibrato, and the Craft Distortion.
Yes.
In some circles. On the GS Wiley side, you've got an original Moonrock.
Yes.
Cast aluminum.
Yes.
That's the fuzz, distortion, and octave up. You have the Ozo pedal, which is, as he put it, the dynamic alien octaver ring modulator. Let's call it that. You also have the Rising Sun, which is a super fuzz, and that one has the acid etched enclosure. So,
But we're missing the New Moon fuzz, which is pretty remarkable. But I understand there's only 3 in this one.
there's only 3 at this
Yes,
store.
so maybe
you can't
maybe
have them all.
that's just that even too hard to get.
It's unobtainium.
Yes.
So, which would you rather? Thanks to the pedal genie for your $100. Would you rather get the 10 Boss Wazacraft pedals or the 3 GS Wiley pedals? I'm going to go first.
Yeah.
Well,
Is this going to even be a contest at all?
the Wazacraft pedals are really good stuff.
Sure.
I mean, those are.
I think you'd have to have about 62 Wazacraft to come up with the
Not really.
price comparison.
Well, price is not an object.
Yeah, my price is not an object. Okay.
But I think
Okay.
yeah, I'm going to go with the GS Wiley pedals because they are just beyond cool in terms of, and thank you for introducing us to to those pedals, Dr. No, because I mean I think I've heard of the Moonrock before, but some of these other ones they just, I mean, you can tell this is again a kindred spirit to you, another artist who is just making things that look and sound cool, and they're maybe not the everyday workhorses that the Boss pedals would be, but man,
No,
if you had these 3 on your pedal board, oh man, that would be something. So I'm going, my money, my $100 is buying the GS Wiley pedals.
Your $100 when you pay tax on that. Oh my goodness. Anyways, okay. Let's see, Billy.
I'm taking my $100 and finding a good guitar teacher.
That's not part of the thing, man.
What are the rules?
There are no rules. Billy, what are you doing?
I can only make one sound at a time,
Yes. Okay.
unless I turn them all on at the same time. But I only have one foot to turn on one pedal. I'll take the moon rock, and that's it.
Okay.
Okay.
But you get the
He
collection.
gets the collection. All right.
So you can use all 3 feet.
Yes. And Dr. No, I think this is going to be an easy one for you.
Yes, I think I'm going for the Glen Wiley and then sell the, the Rising Sun and then buy.
By the Wazacraft.
And then buy the Wazacraft.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Well played. Well played.
So you're going to keep the Ozo?
Yes, I keep the rest, but I keep the. I think the Rising Sun is a 4 or 5 knob super fuzz.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty familiar with them, and I have one original here, so I'm going to sell that one, keep the rest from the Glen Wiley collection, and buy the Wazacraft. Yeah.
There you go. All right.
Dang, that's...
Todd, what are you doing?
Well, I'm going to obviously go with the...
Wazacraft.
No. I have a hard time with Boss pedals in general. Just that... I don't know why. There's something about them that don't...
They're so bourgeois.
No, they're not bourgeois.
Is it the sound? Is it the click? Is it the click?
It's the
click of the
They
button?
just feel kind of... what's the word? It's neutral, antiseptic.
Sterile.
Yep.
It's a little... There's a...
Certain je ne sais quoi.
Yeah, that's not there. That's just me, but that's what I've always experienced. You know?
Yeah. That's too bad.
Yeah.
I've because I grew up on those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm very familiar, and they don't feel that way to me at all.
Yeah.
But their sounds are, I think, somewhat limited. I mean,
Yeah.
they don't take chances.
Yeah. Well, they took about 300 different chances. So
Yeah.
yeah. Anyways,
So it's
they're great and all that stuff. It's just I've never really made a connection with those. I've tried. You
All
know?
right.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Anyways,
okay.
so thank you because I have an option.
When we started making music, those were basically all that were around in the music
Yeah.
stuff at my time.
Yeah.
So I grew up with them, and I know, Todd, you're not a fan, but I was totally inspired for playing guitar with Nirvana, who is also a Boss pedal, which was the go-to and have-to when I was starting guitar, and it was a Boss pedal too. So I think they are the ground layers of pedals, basically. Evolving forward, there are way more inspirational pedals regarding to concepts and designs now, but they are the dinosaurs of pedals, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't disagree with that. Anyways, all right. Thank you, Tony. Now, next, we need to thank people.
Yes.
This is the most thanking spirit we would be thanking them for in our
Yes.
thanks to them.
Yes. At this point of the show, Todd, is a time where we thank a special group of people. These are our executive producers, as you know. Now, an executive producer helps make this show possible. How do you, listening out there, become one? If you're not already one, you head over to patreon.com/the Guitar Knobs. Check out a couple different levels in which you can participate and become a sponsor, a friend, a hero of the podcast. Each level comes with some very nice thank you gifts and opportunities to win great stuff and help us celebrate our 10th anniversary and soon to be 500th episode. But above and beyond all that, there's one thing more, I'm told. Todd?
You get to have your name read on the thing.
You get to have your name read on the thing. And
Yes.
that's what I'm going to do right now. So,
And I think the first person we need to thank is Jared.
yes, Jared.
Jared, who is an early contributor to the show, our great friend, and always has so much love for all the builders out there.
Yes.
We love you, Jared. Thank you, Jared.
Thank you for your participation and your speeded up recordings that we use
Yes.
every week now.
Yeah.
So special thanks to these executive producers. Anthony Lathrop, Brett Hogarth, Cameron Pampas, Darren Gregory, Don Kloss, Elad Mizrahi, James Bell, James White, John Esterly from Rare Buzzer FX, John Sebastian, John Halverson, Justin Jones, Ken Sayers, Michael Senchuk, Mike Davenport, Owen Eads, Pluton, Ralph Gottschalk from Wonderful Audio Technology. What? Richard Kendall, Rick Calhoun, Rusty Sneeden, Stefan Lamb, Tom Barazin, Trevor Ellenberg, Trevor Gunberg, Vader and Pedals, Caribou Gone, Ed Rossler, and Uday Ram. But wait, Todd, there's more. There's a special group of
Wait a minute.
What?
Wait a minute.
What?
We just
Newsflash?
No, we literally just got one more. Hang on. We have another brand new. This just in. Andrew Fryette is an executive producer.
Wow.
Yes.
Was that during the podcast that just came in? I think so.
Yes.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Incredible. Well, Andrew, welcome aboard.
Indeed.
Woo.
Thank you.
But you know, Todd,
I do.
there's a special group of executive producers. We call them our grand poobahs. These are the cream of the crop, the A number ones, the top of the heaps. And, of course, they wear a fez, as we have one displayed here, upon their head whilst listening to the podcast. Mm-hmm. So special 10th anniversary thank yous to these grand poobahs. Anthony Jamalero, Billy Spitfire Unlimited, seated right next to me. Bob Crouch, Brian Robison, Cody Foster, David Kaminga, David Tyndall, Enrico Fernando, Fox Hill Studio, Gregory Randall, Hex Matos, John Williams, Martin Cliff, Matt Hart, Michael Van Zant, Michio Murakishi, Moon Guitars, Pedro Vasquez, Sam Jett, Steve Keys, James Pennington, Zach Oswald from Brandon Wown Pickups, Jonathan Labate from M2 Labs, Ty Barnes, James Castellano, and Kenny Howe.
Outstanding. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. So many things. And I also want to call out, Andrew's been supporting the show for a long time, but he's just become an executive producer.
Wow.
So thank you for stepping up, Andrew. That means an awful lot to us.
And if you're out there listening and you want to be part of the gang, help us out a little bit, head over to Patreon.
Indeed. All right.
Subscribe.
We need to give an enormous thank you to Dr. No for sharing his time, for sharing all of his fantastic insights. I appreciate what you're making. I can't. There's not enough thank yous for all the stuff that you're doing for the pedal perspective, from the build perspective, and all that. But I really truly enjoy talking with you. Beside all that, like, I know that we can talk for hours about life and all that stuff, and those things are really important to me, and I value that greatly.
It's totally mutual. I really enjoy talking to you, and again, not for being. I really appreciate what you're doing, and what your podcast brings to me is just inspiration and the joy that people have with creating their work, and combining and connecting all those people is really valuable. And thank you for that.
Thank you. All right. We take it. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
And not to mention all of the fantastic announcements that you shared with us that we get to involve everybody in. Very, very exciting stuff.
Very exciting. Looking forward to that experiment.
Inspiration of the decade.
Yeah, for sure. Now, where can people go to get all the awesome things you make, Dr. No?
I have a website called www.drnofx.com, which is basically one of my main things. I have an Instagram, but I mostly use that as some sort of diary. It's a private page, so it's not public, and I use it as a diary to basically express or stage of and progress of my work, but most of my work, and I try to keep up with news pages, is on my website.
And just to clarify, your website is drno-effects, drno-effects.com.
Exactly, yep.
Or
That's
do
the
a
one.
Google search for Dr. No Pedals. It'll get there.
Yeah.
But Dr. No Skull Sisters
That's just
will turn you onto a James Bond movie page. The Skull Sisters.
Yeah.
That's very clever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Skull Sisters.
Okay.
Skull Sisters.
Thanks,
I
Billy.
get it now.
Billy,
now
where can
catching
people
on.
find the things that you do?
You can go to my Facebook page, William Whitmire.
What?
Yeah, my Facebook page got hacked a year ago.
Oh, okay.
So if you look up Billy Spitfire on the social media,
It comes up.
you'll either have a blank page or you'll be talking to an imposter.
Some porn site or something.
I don't know. No, hopefully not. Good Lord.
What's the? So it's William.
William Whitmire. WHITMEYER.
All right, got it.
Yep. Thank you for asking.
Yes, indeed. Tony,
Yes.
happy anniversary. Where can people get the things that you do?
Well, you just go over to pickguardian.com. Check out the stuff I do. What do? I make pick guards for guitars. Yeah, how do you get one? Shoot me an email. Let me know what you need, what you're trying to do, what materials you want, what pickups you're using, all the stuff. And I'll make something special for you. As Todd likes to say, it's your opportunity to make your guitar even more yours.
Correct, Amundo, as the Fonz would say.
We can think about a foot guard for the new pedal.
Oh, a foot guard.
A foot guard. I like that.
Why not? No rules.
Hey, no rules do not apply.
We need to, actually, if you want to send me a message, do that on Instagram at Guitar Knobs. We'd love to hear from you. Lots to talk about. You can talk to us about anything. Just reach out and connect. And it's been an amazing 10 years. Thank you all for your support. Thank you for your continued support, most of all.
Yes.
And thank you for listening and supporting us, even if you're not part of our patronage. We still need you out there, and please spread the word, okay? All right, everybody. Stay positive. Have a fantastic guitar week. Thank you, Dr. No, and subscribe.
Boy.
Thank you.
Well, this is so exciting.
I don't know how to process all this.
I mean, Todd has not stopped smiling.
Yeah. It's
I
great.
really am afraid his face is going to crack. We've got a news flash.
Well, no, I clapped, so we're not. Hang on.
I don't care about your
Hang
clap.
on. Notifications.
There
he is.
But it was just so shocking.
Mr. Wonderful.
Thank you, Todd.
Well, I was talking about Dr. No.
Summer breeze makes me feel fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jazz. This is a jazz
we'll
podcast.
and away we go.
Well, that's it for these knobs. Please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/The Guitar Knobs. Visit our website at theguitarknobs.com for all of our past episodes, 4 on the Floor blog, and other good stuff. You can connect with us on social too at our Facebook page and share your gear and stories on our Facebook group. Also, be sure to check out our Instagram at Guitar Knobs. Catch you next time.